wake up, it's the morning. Wake up, the day is dawning. Wake up, it's time to start the day. So everybody's gotta wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the morning. Wake up, the day is dawning. Wake up, it's time to spill some tea. So everybody's gotta wake up, wake up.
Everybody, welcome to Wake Up with T. Oliver. I'm T. Oliver Reed, your host, and yes, you have seen me in multiple Tony Award-winning musicals on Broadway, but now you get to see me sit down virtually with friends, peers, and colleagues while we discuss Broadway, life, and beyond. So let's get to talking. Episode 11, Carly.
Shall we start with hello? 'Cause what else do you say when your world is crashing down? Let's start with hello. And
I'm so happy that we get to speak with one of the bubbliest women on the planet. She has starred in Beautiful the Musical, she has starred in Chicago the Musical, and in Pippin on Broadway, she is star of stage and screen, the one and only Carly Hughes. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Carly Hughes.
Yes.
Yes. She's doing it. She's doing it.
I literally
How are you? I mean, your skin looks so moisturized and so youth dewy and gorgeous.
Thanks, darling. I think I sprayed something on my face today that actually had Dewey in the title. You're not gonna catch Corona's not gonna catch me, boo.
No, not ashy.
Highly moisturized and faithful.
How's everything going?
Good. I mean, there's not much to complain about. I mean, do I miss friends? Yeah, but I only miss a few. And I mean, let's get serious. And like, do I miss anything enough to risk going outside? And like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
And possibly, contracting Corona. Nothing. I miss nothing that much.
No.
And I'm home alone. I live by myself, and I'm in this big house, which I'm grateful for. So you'd think I'd be going crazy, but I'm just like, I'm grateful I have the space. Mm-hmm. I take vacations on the weekend to my guest room.
Love it. Love it.
Just for a change of scenery. And I have a porch that I sit on every day. And again, like the crazy black lady in the South, and wave to my neighbors like this. Hey, baby, you good? Okay. And I've been doing it for so long that they look for me. Like now they have kids and strollers. They'll be like, hi. I'm like, still here.
But are you actually rocking when you're talking to them? Just that little bit of this.
Sometimes I am. You never know. But you know what? I'm easy. This is not the be all end all. And I feel like a lot of people forget that is like, because we as Americans are so privileged in this country, and not rightfully so, but it is what it is. Yeah. And you forget that like, there are people that have it worse. You get your food delivered from your favorite restaurant that's still open because it's not quarantined correctly. Yeah. Anything from Amazon that you could ever want, you could still go to stores as long as you wear a mask and gloves. I'm like, there's nothing to complain about.
Yes, but people are screaming because they want to go get their nails done, or they want to go sit
and
in
a haircut.
car.
I'm like, girl, you better invest in some press-on nails like these here.
Listen, leave them like you got them. Nothing on them. Just naked as the day is long, but that's fine.
Nothing. And also, I'm like, your haircut is worth possibly getting Corona or infecting someone else. Yeah, screw you.
But that's there's a level of entitlement that I think
I will never know.
Yeah, we will never know. But there is that their whole like, well, I want it when I want it, and I want it how I want it, and I'm going to take all the space I want to, and I'm not going to put on a mask. I'm not going to do anything.
It's just a country of Veruca Salts.
Yes.
Basically.
Listen, and you really only need one of her.
You only need one of her, and she didn't last to the end anyway.
She sure did not. So now you have been cooking up a storm while you've been at home, having a respite.
I love cooking. I've always cooked and like, but it's always been for like fun and for every Thanksgiving for the last, I don't know how many years, I'll invite like people over and I'll cook a huge Thanksgiving dinner for 6 to 8 people. And I would Instagram that too and be like, these are my recipes. This is what I'm doing. Yeah. But then since the beginning of this, I'm like, well, I might as well show people how to do something. That was my thought of just like, I'm home alone, so I'm going to talk to the strangers out in the interwebs but also if they don't know how to make this soup or whatever. And then it quickly caught on, and people were like, you know, are you doing a Cooking with Carly tonight? And I was like, oh, it's a thing. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to cook more than I've ever cooked in my life now anyway. So why not make it a thing and create some new recipes? And which has allowed me to stay creative, but like without the pressure of feeling like I have to be the next, like, you know, Mozart, or, you know, have these major epiphanies. It's just something that's still been fun, and it's allowed cooking to still be fun, because cooking is also therapeutic, the chopping, the measurements, things like that. So that's definitely, it's been fun, but it's helped me too in this process to just be like settled.
And did you have the same realization that I did? It's like how much you actually were eating out before you didn't get to eat
Either
out.
how much I was eating out, or how much I just wasn't eating because I didn't feel like cooking. Like, because I'm a leftover queen. So if I cook something, one, I don't know how to cook for just one. So I'm again in this daggone house alone, and you see the meals I cook. It'll feed 6. I will eat that all week. But that's also how I grew up.
But see, I'm the same way. Like I have no issue with the leftover. Like I will eat leftover.
Sometimes I'll transform it into something else, but most of the time I just want to eat it again.
Well, this also is the things like I made this because I like it, so I don't mind eating it. I don't mind eating it 4 days in a row because I like it.
Exactly. Or you make things like my loaded Greek turkey burgers that I made at the beginning, and I make those because I want a Greek turkey burger. But I also then the next day want a Greek turkey burger on a salad, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It has reminded, if not me personally, definitely all of my friends who have messaged and been like, I haven't cooked this much in my life. Part of me is like, what have you been doing? You go out that much? Because even like when I go out, and this is a you know, a New York Broadway thing, when you didn't got no monies, I would go out with friends, even here at happy hours, but like I'll eat at home.
Yeah.
Or for, you know, a good 50-50 or 60-40 split, 60 in home favor of like, I'll eat before I go out and just grab a drink, or, you know, because that was always ingrained.
We call it pre-gaming, because we'll have 2 or 3 drinks before you go out, because, you know, drinks are $20. So
it's expensive.
Thank you.
And if you don't have a happy hour food menu, I don't want the regular menu. So I'm just going to eat at home. Yeah,
I'm with you. So, so much I want to talk to you about. Because I think that the people who know you from American Housewife know that you had a life in New York on Broadway before then, but I don't know if they know how extensive your life on Broadway was.
Yeah, I don't think they do either. They're always like, wait, what? You did what?
She did it all. She did all the twirling, singing, dolls.
All the twirlings, all the things that caused workers' comp, which is how we met. You remember that? How you and I met at Physio Arts, getting physical therapy, and you were still doing Mary Poppins.
Yeah, that ankle.
And my ankle, because I was doing ragtime.
Bless it. That's so, it's crazy because, and then we kept seeing just like, hey, that's my PT friend.
Yep. Yeah. That's what it was, a PT friend. Yeah, people don't really know the extensiveness, because, you know, you don't walk around going like, well, I did this. And also there's still there's this huge differentiation and separation between TV and film, even though there's more of a crossover now than there has been. You know, thanks to Hamilton making Broadway cool again. People are like, oh, you did Broadway? You want to be on the show? Yeah. But for the average viewer, it's hard for, they disassociate. So it's hard for them to see you in another world, which is also always funny to me, because way back when, every actor had to do it all. Gene Kelly did the television and did the TV and film, and if you didn't look good on the TV and film, you couldn't do the television. And if you know what I mean, like they all did everything, and they all went to go do. Lena Horne did all the films and did the Broadway, and you know what I mean. So it was more valued, obviously, like a lot of things, music included, back then. To an actor was an actor. Now you have a TV actor and a stage actor and a video actor. Well, I don't even know what that is, but you know, instead of being well-rounded, that is what it is now. So people, as viewers, it's hard for them to sometimes grasp the concept or realize like, oh, you did that too? And you're like, yeah, I did that first. Yeah.
And with that, so tell me about the Princess Grace Award and how all of what you were doing at that time in your life and when all that came about.
Oh my gosh. I was I was still dating Leslie Odom Jr., who,
Oh,
yep, who was responsible for me getting the Princess Grace Award because he got it first.
uh-huh.
And he was like, you should really do this. And I was like, all right, I did the whole application, everything. And then I was at this summer stock that's not around anymore called Seaside Music Theater in Daytona Beach.
Uh-huh.
And I was doing, who knows, ragtime, playing Sarah and ragtime, or I think it was probably playing Brenda and Smokey Joe's for the millionth time.
Uh-huh.
And I got a call. It was July. I got a call. They were like, you've won the Princess Grace Award. And I was like, what? Because here I am at this theater in Daytona Beach, Florida, making $2, literally.
Yeah.
Because I was still non-equity, playing all the leads, but non-equity. So they were giving money elsewhere, and I was making like $400 before tax. I wasn't even making unemployment.
But you were happy enough on it.
I sure was. I was like, whatever, I'll give you some Don Juan 8 nights a week. But I got the call, and I think we were about to go to a show, or I don't know, but I was in shock. And then because I didn't know the specifics, and I also just did it because I was like, it's a good thing to apply for it. I don't know what it means, Back then, you didn't do a lot of research because the interwebs wasn't what it is now, but also you were like, I know enough about this to try.
Yeah. And
so once I got it and you realize the scholarship money they give you and the prestige that comes with it and what it really means, then I was like, oh, shit. There's so many people that have come before me that have this award. And even today, I'm still, every year, they have statue awards and they have their gala that I'm still a big part of their community. I'm still like, they got a Princess Grace Award? Huh? And ironically, the year I won, the hosts were like Michael C. Hall, who was doing 6 Feet Under then, and Anne Rankin. And my particular award, I won the Princess Grace Award for acting, but then I also won a special statue award from the Grace Levine family. And Anne Rankin presented me with this crystal statue award, which I was just like, because I just did this whole Fosse thing in college. It was like my last year of college.
Uh-huh.
And cut to playing Velma Kelly on Broadway, where they called in Anne Rankin to set Cheetah's original choreography on me, and I died. I was like, do you know that you passed me the Princess of Grace Awards and you gave me the award? And she was just all cool, like, oh, that's nice. I was like, it is amazing.
Brilliant.
But it's been a great honor. They do so much for the arts in honor of Grace Kelly, and I'm just still trying to remain a part of that community in whatever way possible. Like now they're everything's on hiatus and done virtually, but they'll put Cooking with Carly recipes in the newsletter and all that stuff.
Oh, that's so cool. So now with American Housewife, if we are still sort of homebound for a little while, are you guys planning on doing any virtual things, or is it just sort of everyone just waiting, wishing and hoping?
I think we're all just waiting because honestly, we're still waiting to hear if we get a season 5.
All right.
This is the latest we've ever gone.
Really? Well, I guess but also it's like there's no rush because we know that we're gonna all be sitting around.
Yeah, we're here. What are you gonna do? And they, this is the first time ever they had to cancel pilot season. Mm-hmm. So that pilot pickups for anyone is now based on. I think they had these shows submit a second script. Yeah. And are basing pickups on second scripts or season arcs. They're being creative with it, but it's a learning curve, and they also have to figure out what it means to go back with all of this intact. Like I don't want to go on set if my crew is not wearing a mask and gloves and
lots of day players and extras and all those that people aren't know that you're dealing with all the time.
Cut it down. How many extras you need? And my makeup art. I don't want to share makeup artists and the brushes and they're in your face. So they have a lot to figure out, and I'm just sitting here waiting to see if I got a job.
All right, you're gonna have one. Knock it. What was the transition like for you from theater going to series regular?
It was interesting. I mean, it wasn't hard, that's for sure. But I always tell people that's because if you come from theater, you can do anything because that is your basis. Just like any great dancer out there has taken ballet first because that is your basis of dancing. It's the root. So to come from theater and having to do 8 shows a week and learn new choreography overnight, or learn this new song overnight, or like me, learn Pippin in 7 days, like to do things like that, or do double duty.
You learned that show in 7 days?
7 days. And I only had 3 hours on the trapeze.
Why only 7 days?
Why I'm still injured to this day. Yeah.
Why only 7 days?
Because the Weislers.
Oh, bless them.
I mean, that's all you need to say.
Listen.
I found out I got the job on Wednesday between shows at Beautiful, and I started rehearsal Thursday at 10 a.m. And I went in a week and a half later.
That is absolutely.
While doing double duty, because that's the only way the producers of Beautiful, which are so amazing, let me out, is I rehearsed 10 to 6, and I ran for our 6:30 half hour, because we had 7 o'clock shows every night except for Thursday, Friday. And I would run from 45th Street to 43rd, do Beautiful, and then wake up and do it all over again.
Bless you. Bless you.
But coming, the stuff that we are thrown into as live theater actors, coming to TV and film, I was literally like, this is it? Well,
you want me to sit in my trailer for how long? Okay.
Yeah, I was like, wait, but do I still get paid? Because I feel like I didn't do anything. I'm like, you said cut 8 times. Did we even do a scene?
Mm-hmm.
That actually was the learning curve of the whole cut action, and it not really being about the scene, it being about the pictures that the director's making, or about the, camera angles that are making the scene, because they do, but it's not like that in theater. You're working with your actors, and what I've learned in TV and film, a lot of times it's not about the actor, it's about everything else going around, so you better be on your shit, which is also part of why they hired you. So
yeah. And you and what's the youngest daughter,
Julia Butters,
you two seem to have a really sweet relationship. Like, I keep seeing pictures of the two of you and everything.
Her name is Julia Butters, like that's her real name, and I call her Butterball. I've called her Butterball since I met her, and she's just a little sweetheart. And I don't know, she's a child actor, and me and kids, I'm just like, welcome to Auntie Cardi. And so from the beginning, I took her under my wing, and on sets a lot, in TV and film and in theater. Kids are kids, so some adults are like, nah, I don't want no kids.
Yeah,
you're not a kid, so. Yeah. She kind of latched onto me, and I was like, sure, let's go. And now she's a star. She's just in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I didn't realize she was in that.
That's her.
Oh, okay.
She's not Johnny Depp. What? I made that up. She's Leonardo DiCaprio's co-star.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I know, she's great. I love her.
Speaking of,
she's going insane during this quarantine too. She FaceTimed me and was like, hi.
How old is she now?
She's 10 now.
Oh,
she started when she was 6 years old when we met. She's 10 now.
Oh, wow.
I know. If you go back to season 1, you see her little face still has like baby fat on it, and she's just like, and now she's like tall and lean and dancing to Chicago in her backyard. I'm like, ah. Yeah, she showed me a video of her doing. She's like, and this is my rendition of All That Jazz, and I was like, why do you know that?
She's been watching Auntie Carly in the old videos. She's been looking.
She did. She goes, I watched you on YouTube, and then I got obsessed, and so now I'm doing it. And I was like, okay.
Okay. And how is your family doing? How's your mom doing?
Mom is good. I mean, she's healthy. She's not staying home, which is the only thing in this process stressing me out. I can't. She's still going to work, and I'm like, ma'am, you do realize you just had breast cancer, right? Sit down.
Black women do not stay at home when they're supposed to. I have found that out. I literally, my mother, my aunts, they're all like, I just have to go to the post office today, or I have to go by the drugstore and get this, and it's like, you don't need
to get any of those things. Also, I'm like, Mom, you are not on the front lines. Sit down.
Yeah.
Stop making up a thing. Sit down.
Bless them. Well, I'm glad she's doing well. I'm glad you're doing well.
Thank you, and you too.
Trying to, again, it's like, I think this is that period that we have to figure out, what we're going to do if we don't do what we were doing, because this new normal, all of our new narratives may tilt us all a bit out of the direction we thought we were going in. So let's figure it out.
And you have to succumb to the fact that, like, this is a new norm. Like, you can't keep fighting against and wanting to do what you used to do. There's no used to anymore. It's just like, okay, well, now we have to start doing this and figure out how it works so that you stop rebelling against it. You know what I mean?
Yes. And that's going to be the thing. There are going to be so many of our fellow citizens who are rebelling against.
I mean, all the protesters.
What are you protesting? How are you going to protest the virus?
Sit down. That's when I turn into Claire Huxtable real quick. I'll be like, sit down. I want a haircut. Shut up.
Yes, you listen. They will say people inhale one ice water, but you're not getting it. So sit
I always
down.
say it because my mama said it to me growing up. People will say something in life to friends. I'll be like, well, people inhale one ice water. And they're literally like, what? And I'm like, I just turned into your grandmother real quick, but I meant what I said, and I said what I meant.
Carly, we were standing outside Hadestown Theater, and it was while oh gosh, that the prom was across the street, and it was last summer doing the blackout, and we're standing out and we're all watching, and there's this young girl who's in the prom who was standing out on top of the marquee. When I tell you, I screamed at her like I was her grandmother.
You said, if you don't get down from there.
Those words exactly. People looked at me like, T, you know her? I was like, I don't know who she is, but somebody's child's about to fall. And I screamed at her like she was someone I knew about to fall.
That's because all Black families, I'm your mother, but so is he, she, her, hitting it that's older than you. You better listen.
Mm-mm. It's like, I'm going to spank you, and then I'm going to tell your mama so she can spank you too.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell my mama, I'll tell her for you.
Always. So I think my last question for you, because I think that to continue to work the way you have, I mean, again, it's like we in the theater business know about aches and pains and being able to walk down the street, make it look easy when you got a limp and all these things. But what motivation has faith had in your journey, and that whether that's spiritual or that's like organized religion or what have you, but
yeah, I'm not a religious person, but I'm at like, I don't know how to put it. I guess a spiritual person of everything is everything is one, and this always begets that. So I'm always aware of the energy that I'm putting out based on the energy I want to get back. And so faith for me is more often than not having faith in myself. So I feel like in terms of me getting where I've gotten, it's literally been because of the faith in myself of everyone who said no, of me being like, oh yeah, okay, sure, I don't know what you're talking about. Or every casting room I went into for 10 plus years that were like, oh, you do Broadway? Only to reach to the moment they're like, oh my God, you do Broadway? Again, thanks Hamilton for making Broadway cool again. But I'd go in these same rooms that were like, oh, that's cute. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? And then I go in again after, we have this newfound popularity, and they're like, we want you. And I'm like, I'm literally the same person I was last month. But I never gave up on myself because I was like, no, I still want to do all of these things. So if you're saying no, I have to find another way around, and that is a huge part. I'm constantly like, well, no, I don't accept no. Especially when someone who's not invested in you or doesn't know you, it's like, you're basing that off of nothing that has to do with me. And that's the thing you have to learn too,
But it's interesting because like you're someone who, as we know, we get for every one yes, we get 9 no's, and we all have to have a tough outer shell, but you always seem so light and so open and honest with this. I mean, it's a wonderful thing to know that it's like you can continue to be a good person and have things happen and be able to sit on your porch and wave at the neighbors and
and rock in the chair. I've gotten that a lot too during this process. On like Saturdays, I've started on Instagram to do the Ask Me Anything, which has been very interesting. And ironically, this past Saturday, the question that popped up for the first time, where I had it multiple times, meaning like 5 or more, were people going, how are you always so happy? Or how are you always so positive? Is this just because of quarantine, or is this, but genuinely asking. And I never thought about it. And my response was, well, no, this is just me. I don't know how to fake the funk. Don't know how. But I was like, I gave my initial response was, I'm not on a ventilator, so I'm doing just fine. But I didn't want to be snarky. And I was like, you know what? This is just a small blip in the grand scheme of life. Just like any setback is, Corona aside, like it's not the be all end all. And if you start thinking of it that way, then that is the moment that is defining you. And then you're moving forward, trying to get all these good things with this negative attitude. So if I don't have control over it, I'm not investing my energy into that. I can only give you so much, especially when you're not giving me the same, be it a person, a physical person, or the universe. So for me in this time, I'm like, I'm positive because I have a lot to be thankful for. Also, what is it benefiting me to mope around all day?
Well, and see, and that is me all day long. Because like, what good does it do you to be walking around acting like you're upset all the time? And
I tell people, and I was like, listen, I also think it's unrealistic to be positive all the time. Because in fact, I've met people that are, and I don't trust them. I think that's not realistic. I don't trust you. Yeah. But that doesn't mean you can't be positive at some point throughout the day. Like, you know, I have my ups and downs just like everyone else. I just choose not to live in the moment. That's not to say I don't live in that moment for a moment. Does that make sense? But I don't let it take over because I'm like, okay, moving on. I allow myself the time in the Corona world or pre-Corona world with jobs, and I go, I'm going to feel this because this is what I'm feeling right now, but I'm not going to feel this way tomorrow because it's no.
I'm with you on this. Like, I think with all these moments and anything that happens in life, you can be in your feelings for this amount of time. And for me, that's about 14 minutes. You can be in that place for 14 minutes, and then you have to take a breath and move on. But I don't want to do is to be holding on to bad feelings or upset or anything for 12 years because
you do that on purpose, and it sets you back. You're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
You're not. People hear things when they want to hear them, and they learn things when they want to learn them. So you can only say things so many times, but it's one thing I've been fortunate enough to learn, and I try to pass on is like, you could feel all of this and it doesn't, and yes, you're going through it, but you got to find some way to work around it and forgive the situation or whatever adjective you want to put there so that you can, if you still want A and you got set back here, you're not going to get A if you're still stuck back here.
Yeah. Yeah. When are you going to do that Betty Boop movie? I'm just looking at your hair right now and I'm like, when are we going to do that like Betty Boop?
Boop, boop, doop. When you write it for me, T.
On it. Because again, this is that time. Look, I got my screenplay that's written. I'm working on another play. It's like this is for me. It's like this is nothing but good play time to figure out it. Yeah.
Listen, I would do it. A lot of people don't know that story either. So I mean, most people don't know that story.
Yeah. No, they think Betty Boop is the white cartoon,
the black and white cartoon character.
Yeah. We'll
I would do it.
We will talk about that then.
I know you're the king of doing shows.
I want to be the king of let's make sure there are opportunities for people, for the most talented people to be working as opposed to what we've continued to see with the lack of diversity through casting and with directors and choreographers and musical directors to overlook people because they don't fit what you thought you had in your head.
Yeah. I love that.
On it.
Do it.
Right. Carly Hughes, I thank you. I love you.
I love you so much.
Stay well. Mwah.
Wake up, it's the morning. Wake up, the day is dawning. Wake up, it's time to spill the tea. So everybody's gotta wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the morning. Wake up, the day is dawning. Wake up, it's time to spill the tea. So everybody's gotta wake up, wake up.